Mine! Mine! Seriously, though. Seriously. Um, so, I have 10 rounds left, and then it's going to be time to take pictures. So, I'm super excited because while the sock isn't really half done, like, there's so much more that can be done. A good portion of it is done. Like, as far as sections, yeah, it is almost half done. Because there's the toe, the heel, the foot, the leg, and the cuff. Get down! You, get down. Get down. Adelaide is being baby. Adelaide is being baby because it is storming outside, and so she is upset about it. That's what's going on. So, yeah. Now, I do have to update. I do have to update. I have to update the what do you call it? I gotta update my Ravelry bit that I have to do. But now here's the other thing. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream. I've got 10 rounds, and by my count, I've gotten like 6 done at the most. If I do more than 6 tonight, then what's going to end up happening is it is going to be it's going to be longer than an hour of streaming, which is fine, but the thing with that is that it cuts into time I need to do other stuff, which is not fine. Now, technically, this is a bonus stream this week because I don't have streaming scheduled for Fridays or Saturdays because every other I have my wee bit, and I'm not going to negotiate silence like for an hour while I sit here and talk to y'all. And usually, like, they're watching cartoons, wanting to play, asking me questions. And while I can, like, mute the microphone, it's really going to be a damper as far as tracking project time if I have to constantly, like, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. So. Now, that said, normally I would go and be streaming tonight and tomorrow because it's not the wee bit weekend, but because the day after tomorrow is Mother's Day, I'm going to see my wee bit for a little bonus day. And that's partially because, like, I never actually get to do that. And the depression is strong at this point, and yeah, I made it happen. Like, I was not thinking it was going to be possible this morning, so I said no, and then I shifted some things around because not seeing the little one was not gonna help me feel better. So I decided that that was worth shifting things around. Like, even though it's going to be troublesome and is gonna create some strain I really don't fucking need. Again, not having her not being able to see her is not gonna help. So we decided that it made more sense and it was more reasonable to just do that. So here we are. Now, might I stream after she's abed and asleep? And might I stream some game time? Maybe. And I think that's what I'm gonna shoot for whenever she's here, is streaming like a just random stream of me gaming. Which will put 2 gaming sessions every 2 weeks, which is like basically 1 per week, which is pretty good, even though it's not like the 2 are going to be in the same week. So that might be something. I do want to add a little more gaming in here, just because, just for variety. Now, for those of you watching this broadcast later on YouTube, you're not going to see any of the gaming. You want to see any of the gaming, you're going to have to come over to Twitch. That's the only place I'm going to put it. I'm not going to stream me playing games on my phone, on my YouTube channel, because I got to tell you, I think that'll be boring as shit. Like, it'll be super boring. Now, do I have another YouTube channel? I sure do. Might I put it up there? I mean, I could. Is it like, am I gonna definitely do that? Probably not. Now, that said, now that I've said this, I've put this idea in my head. What I might do is just make a fucking playlist on my other YouTube channel. And that's just gonna be just me playing games. And so if you want to watch, if you really want to watch that, I don't know fucking why. You can see it there. And I'll just like, I guess make, I might make like an overall Twitch playlist, and then make playlists for the different types of games that I play, although most of it is Evermerge. Just putting that out there. So 1 down, 9 more to go. I'm probably not going to, though. I'm probably not going to do 9. Because honestly, I'm going to want to just be done for the day after this. I think my like low-key goal was of like my evening routine was just to make sure that I streamed. Because that's actually the first thing that I do of my evening routine. So we've done that pretty much every day this week. Like I said, I'm probably not going to do so tomorrow because the wee bit's going to be here now. Because I am not, because I'm not going to the gym, there's a chance that I could be on here earlier. Also, the possibility is going to be that the wee bit is here a lot later, and so brass tacks, I might get to stream because they're not supposed to be here till like 8-9. And what I will do is I'll just be streaming at my regular time, which is 7 to 8 at this point, and so we might get to work on this tomorrow, even if it's just for a little bit, because what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, if I can get through all of these rounds up until that, I'm gonna take pictures in the morning or the afternoon, depending on what actually happens, and then I have to place the heel, which it's not going to be that much knitting. Now, that said, I'm going to look it over. But if it's not that much knitting, what I might do is I might just forego streaming that at all, because it's just going to be like so little. And What I might do is I might Instagram live it or something. That might be something I do. Just because I really don't think it's going to be for that long. I'm pretty sure you are placing two rows right on one side. Oh. Pretty sure that is it. And then I knit, and personally I knit an inch beyond that. And I do that because it's really flimsy to add the heel in with like 1 or 2 rounds after it. And so what I do is I knit like an entire inch, which is usually about 10, between 9 and like 11, 12 rows or rounds. So, oh my gosh. My computer hates me. That's super awesome. So the messed up part is I don't actually know that I'm still streaming. I really don't. I have no idea. Because my computer is just like, hey, I know that you want me to do this thing, but I don't want to do this thing, and so I'm just not going to. Oh yeah, hey, by the way, I'm not going to do this thing. Like, it's telling me after the fact, like after the decision has already been made. Oh yeah, no, we're not going to do this thing. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, no, didn't you get the memo? I'm like, I fucking did not. No, I did not get the memo. I think I have some more of, not this colorway, but some of this yarn. I think that's going to be the next one. It's going to be another one of those. I think I have a particularly hideous color. It's like browns. It's going to be disgusting, honestly. I gotta say, I've knit with this yarn twice, and I don't have a problem with the yarn, but the colors leave like a bit to be desired for me personally. There is one colorway of all the ones that I have that I do like, and it's probably because it's like teal blues and like peacock blue. That's probably why I like it, because it's among the colors I really, really like. So, oh my gosh. I can only hope that I'm still streaming. And if I'm not, I'm just sitting here talking to myself, which is just fucking glorious. Like, oh my gosh. I don't understand why it wants to do this to me. I don't get it. But this is apparently a regular ass fucking happening for me. And sometimes it just means it just entirely kicks me the fuck off, and then I have no idea. And I'm usually pretty pissed about it, honestly, because I have no idea. So I've been like, I could have restarted, right? I could have restarted, and I can't because I have no idea that it's not recording. I need to improve my stream setup. I do. I don't really know how I want to go about doing that, but I think it needs to happen sooner rather than later. For the good of the people. Okay, so So, the good news is it's still doing stuff. That's the good news. That's the good news. Yay. Oh my gosh. Hooray! I think the reason I've chose this one first is maybe because I didn't hate it so much, and I think I might have gotten the brown colorway after I've bought this, and so this was already like queued up in my mind. Now, the cool thing is, because I'm switching industries, I can totally wear my hand knit socks to work. And that, like, be cool. I mean, I'll need to be careful not to get anything gross on them, but, like, washing something gross out of them is going to be way easier than washing, like, oil and grease out of stuff, because that's a fucking nightmare. That's why my socks are black. Hello! Hi, lols. How you doing? We're making socks! I'm alright. It's almost the week's end. So that's great. I've got one more work day. It's my 6-day work week. Gross. So I'm excited about that. How are you? So here's a funny story. We tell stories here. Socks is the reason I learned to knit, because I saw a pair of socks that had like a tree design on them, like a raised design, and the tree had like little baubles that looked like little fruits. And I was like, nobody's gonna make these for me. So obviously I have to learn how to knit. Meanwhile, I still haven't made them yet. And that was in 2009. So, you know, it's funny. For as much as I love knitting socks, I don't actually wear my knitted socks that often. Probably partially because I don't wear socks outside of wearing shoes that often. Also, I have a dog, and then I have to like get the dog hair out of them, and I don't really want to do that. So, yeah. Every now and then, though, I do bust them out. But I mentioned this not too long ago. I don't know if you were here for that, but I'm about to change jobs, and I will totally be able to wear my hand knit socks to work and it not be like a problem, because I won't be working in a super gritty environment, and so I'm not gonna have to like scour my socks after wearing them, which is great. It'd kind of be like Booth from Bones, where he had the funky socks and the belt buckles as like little tiny signs of rebellion, like under. I don't wear slippers. Actually, because I'm from the country, I prefer to be barefoot. So that's a whole ass thing. I used to have a pair of slippers, and it had a little table on it with a lamp on it, and it said one night stand on it, and it was, I thought it was hilarious. It was like, was it David and Goliath was the brand. But I feel like slippers wear out really easily, and that's why I don't go for them. Now, would I make some slipper socks like with little soles and like a little thicker, like the Pharaoh ones? Oh, yes, I would. And that's actually on my make list. Now though, okay, so now that I've made a bunch of socks, I could easily translate a pattern into doing that. I can easily do that. Um, so I might do that. I might like make I just like make a bunch of feral designs and just do some color work. That might be. Wait, I think we've just gotten a fucking idea. Okay, get the post-it out. Get the post-it out. You gotta get the post-it out. Design Fair Isle socks. Okay, so I don't know if I want to do DK or worsted. I'm gonna have to look at the slipper socks that I see. I'll have to go through Ravelry and see what what weight they usually are, and then go from there. Because I do have a pair of worsted socks that I made. They're made out of cotton, and they're absolutely intended to like wear as like little slippers. I use them after I give myself a pedicure and lotion my feet and like wear them overnight because the cotton's really easy to wash. Now the only thing with it is because it's cotton, like once you've worn them once, like you stretch those mothers out. So the stretchiness, like that would be something to consider. Now, also, would maybe this be a great use to my worsted stash, like the remnants? Oh, probably. So, I think we might have just created a monster. Maybe that's what I'll do because I love those things. I love the slipper socks. I do. I don't tend to wear slippers around the house. Now slipper socks, I'd probably like wear the fuck out of those. Like for reals. Probably. Because I love them so much. So let's see. Okay, that is done. So we're gonna go ahead and close. We closed another tab. I don't recall if we're on the third or fourth round. Oh, gravy. I think probably what we're going to do is work until we've made an hour and then stop. Because I have to double check the amount of rounds I have to do left, and I feel like I haven't been paying really great attention. Which is probably true because I've been running my mouth. As one does. So, I'm thinking that I'm gonna now have to design some slipper socks because obviously I don't have enough to do. Obviously, we're fixing this. Okay, so what happened is one of the strands got caught. There we go. Ta-da! I think we're gonna make it like a whole week of streaming every day. Pretty much. I mean, I'm still not sure about tomorrow. There's a possibility. I kind of don't want to break my schedule, but I'm gonna be breaking my schedule if I do for like a really good reason. So, worth it. All right, so let's see. Oh. I missed a message and didn't realize it. Twig answered a question I asked earlier. So I'm like reading 9 books right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of reading books, so I'm not gonna out the author, right? Because I have interacted with them a little bit, and I like them as a person, and I like the idea that they put out, that they were sharing, which is like me checking out this book. The execution, dislike. So Twig, I told Twig this, and Twig was just like, "Do not finish that book." I was like, "Well, it's less than 200 pages. It's like 153 pages. I'll commit to it." And like just some of the world building that's like started is just, I don't know, a little disjointed for me. I don't know. Anyway, there's just and look, I have read people who I've read, this is one of the like the earlier works, right? And then read later works and seen an improvement. Okay. This person has already written a bunch of books. Okay. Like years before this one. And so if this is like a good judge of their writing right now, ugh, yikes. Yikes. Now, might I finish the series? It's like 3 books. I mean, I'm invested enough and curious enough in general to want to know what's going to happen with these characters, because you've met like a whole team of them. I think part of what the disjointed thing is, so a bunch of them have Eastern European names and live in like normally Eastern Europe ish. But it sounds like none of them speak with an accent. So like, and maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe that's, that's not all of it. Maybe that's some of it though, is the fact that when I read, and I'll go ahead and out this person because I like them. I don't want to encourage people to like dissect and attack an author, because that's not cool. But like when I read Cressley Cole, all of her Leica are Scottish. And when you read them, you can hear it in like how she writes it. Like they don't say to, they say te, T-A-E. They'll use the word ken, which is knowing, like I know something. You ken that, you know that. Not bloody, but bloody. And like spelled that way, B-L-U-I-D-Y. Like there is the form the writing takes lends itself to it feeling more authentic versus just saying, oh, his name is Gareth. There's actually a character named Gareth. His name is Gareth, and he's from the Highlands, and like that's it. Like that's that's it. That's the representation. Like, and I don't even know, like, I think Cressley Cole's world building, like, is fucking on point. Like, I think she does a great job world building, like, fucking immediately. Like, The Warlord Wants Forever is a short novella, and look, there are some points in her writing that are, like, vaguely cringe. And it's just because the whole domineering male can be problematic, right? Because of the expression that can take and what that can look like. So, sure. But, like, her world building really is on point. The groups that she's, like, divided all of her creatures into, and, like, the solid features, like all of the Valkyrie, they're all female, they're all tiny, they have fae-like beauty, they have tiny pointed ears, and as the Leica say, wee fangs. Just fucking hilarious. And they're ethereal, and they're small, and they're fucking vicious, and they love shiny things and nail polish and clothes. I mean, as she says, they've inherited Freya's acquisitiveness. And, like, I think she does a fantastic job of, like, really creating, like, this whole group, like, very clearly. Like, I cannot wait until she has a siren as a character, because I really want to know how that one's going to play out. I also would like to know more about how she's going to treat the shifters, because to the point you've seen demons, some fae, Valkyrie, various types of vampires, the witches. I'm trying to think. What is it? The sorcery. The Vrechners. Those are rough. I'm actually in the middle of that book. I've already read it, but I'm getting to Monroe, and I already started my reread. So, like, I think it's like 5 books to go through, I think, before I get to Monroe. And I started Monroe, like, I read the first 4 chapters from Monroe, but I've read it, like, right before it was released. So it has been long enough that I have absolutely forgotten everything I read. Like, if I stop, like, I know there's some very specific situations involved, and I know there's some, like, really key plot points that I remember because they're touched on in a few books, and they kind of stuck in my head. But, like, that aside, like, I'm sure there's bits. Then when I officially get to the book and read it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. I would say, I think I read these 4 chapters, like, a few months ago, though, so, like, they're fairly fresh, like, some of the details. But also, just, the details were very particular. Like, very particular, so, of course, they're gonna stick with me. I can't decide which, like, creatures I like best, though. I really like the Leica. I like that they're so curious, and, like, so the funny thing is, right? Okay, the Leica, they're wolves, right? Not dogs. Okay. Although if you want to insult them, calling them dogs will do. But they have this, like, insatiable curiosity, which, when you think about it, is absolutely hunting, right? Like, finding something. It's just, this hunt is not necessarily of a tangible object. Oh, there's also what do you call them? The succubi. They did one of those. Yeah, so I think, like, I love Sebastian. Sebastian's one of the vampires. I love Conrad. Conrad is batshit. That's probably why I like him. That's fucking awful. I'm a terrible person. Um, let's see. Everybody loves Nixie because you cannot not love her. I love Lothair and I love Elizabeth. Elisabetta. Um, yeah, so there's and like a lot of the vampires have like an Eastern European accent and you can hear it. Like, I don't know, she does such a good job really putting you in the world that you can, like, if you have any kind of familiarity with like what these accents sound like, you can hear them. Now, hot tip, this is what I did. There's a couple of accents I don't have an ear for. Like, I can't mentally recall them. And so I've been known to pause what I'm doing, stop reading, and go to YouTube and find somebody with the accent speaking English, so I can hear what it sounds like. And then I like start to commit that to memory, so that every time I read that character, I'll hear their voice sounding like that because I'm a fucking weirdo. I got to tell you, it makes the reading experience so much better. Yeah, Lothair absolutely sounds like Russianish now for me, which is great. I love Lothair. I don't see how you could not love Lothair. Lothair is he's like evil Darcy. Like, he is half mad, but very smart, very cunning. And I don't know, I like his deviousness. I kind of dig it. Because, I don't know, to be really cunning and successful at it, you have to have a reasonably good degree of intelligence. Because you need to be able to keep things straight and not get caught, right? And if you're sloppy or just not good at it, then you're gonna get caught, and it's gonna just, yeah, I don't know. This is really making me sound like an awful person, I think. That's okay, I guess. I do love Lothair. So here's the funny thing. When you meet Lothair, nobody fucking likes him. He is such a bastard. Like, really? What a dick. And then you get to his book and you're like, oh, damn it. Also, Elisabetta, she's fucking hilarious. She is off the chain. I love her. And I love them together because she puts him in his place and it's fucking hilarious. Like, Holly, I'm pretty sure Holly does the same thing to Cade. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think also that's like a hallmark of her female characters, is a lot of them are sassy. And they're, hey, stranger! Like, even though all the characters are sassy, they're sassy in their own way. Like, Holly was a little snooty, like, I don't have time for this and you're bullshit. Whereas Elisabetta was like, you know what? Screw you. It was fucking balls to the wall with it. It is raining super hard. Oh my gosh. So much rains. All the rains. So, which means the pupper is under my feet. Because she is the scarred. You know, I knew it was going to rain because it was so muggly hot today that it was that kind of like humid, sticky, uncomfortable. What I'm glad is that I was home by the time it started raining, so I don't have to drive in this because it sounds like a freaking downpour right now. It would be super great if the store just like didn't have power and I didn't have to go in tomorrow. I don't want to go in. Oh, Winter, you haven't heard. I'm leaving the shop. I don't have a hard date yet, but it's going to happen. I'm fed the hell up. Mm-hmm. I'm over it. Cupcake. The garage. I work at a garage now. I am leaving. I am not going to work there anymore. I have an interview Monday, and I have a meeting on, not obviously not today because it's the end of the evening, but like next Friday. So Cupcake, our new manager, is doing some shit that I am like not okay with. And we're working understaffed. Sunshine is gone, but the staffing is like, it's even worse. He's kind of burying us in work. And then it's just like, yeah, just get this done. And like, keeps just taking on more work. Like, we'll be backed up, the board will be full, and he'll be taking more work like for that day. And it's like, guy, my guy, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm going back to the medical field is what I'm doing. Mistakes were made. Me leaving the medical field was probably a mistake, like a really big one. So I'm going to go back. I got an opportunity to go back. I'm not going to go back to what I was doing. I'm going to go back to I'm going to go into something that's similar-ish, but different demographic. Because, yeah, I'm sure that'll suit me better. But yeah, I guess there's a couple of final straws. One of the final straws was this whole shady nonsense that they're doing. Oh, I'm sure it will. I worked in the medical field for like 14 years. Going back to medicine is not going to be a problem for me. Like the class, the training that I'm taking to get the different licensure, honestly, I could probably teach at least half of that class myself because I know how to do all those things. Oh, what do you need to find a town for? Oh my gosh. Ah. So. Oh, yeah? Well, if you want to elaborate, you're welcome to. A curious beastie over here. Oh my gosh. I think I might try to finish my Wild Heart. Oh, okay. Do you have any special plans for said land? Nice. Yay! Well, that's awesome. I'm glad things are going well. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Right on. That's awesome. Mad respect to building a house. My grandfather, like as my grandfather, not as like a young man, totally built the house that he and my grandmother like lived in last. And as like a kid, I could not appreciate like really how big a deal that was, but as an adult, oh yeah. Like I'm talking from the concrete like slab up. Like they poured the concrete and everything. Fucking mad skills. Nice. I mean, I had aspirations to learn to do some of that stuff myself, but couldn't get an in. And at this point, all right, I'm just going to go back to the medical field. I also have the opportunity to go back to school through this specific work opportunity that I am pursuing. Like if I work with this specific healthcare system, they will basically pay for me to go to school. And I cannot argue with that because I do want to go back to school. I'm totally going to go to school for engineering, though, which is going to have everybody looking at me like, what? Wait a minute. Are you doing biomedical? And I'm going to be like, no, I am not. I have no desire to do biomedical engineering. It sounds boring, honestly. But yeah, like, so I went to a hiring event last Saturday, and pretty much, I don't know, a third or more of the people I talked to had multiple degrees and had gotten their education through the healthcare system that was being presented. So that's a pretty good retention rate among your people. Like, you sent them to school, they got their degree, and they stayed. And not like a year or two. Like, they stayed. So, yeah. My end goal is to be a PA, which is a physician's assistant. And it pays ridiculously well. And so I can be a fancy bitch, because those are some life goals right there. Yeah. I mean, you can't argue with someone paying up to $15,000 for their tuition. Like, sorry, no, you can't argue that at all. That's ridiculous. That's great. That's freaking fantastic. Like, part of my whole issue was I had no idea how I was going to go back to school. Like, I wanted to go back to school. How? I had no idea. Am I probably going to get them to pay for my art school? If I can convince them to do that, yeah. Like, I don't know if they care what you go to school for. Oh yeah. I mean, it's a reasonable incentive. School is becoming very necessary and it's very expensive. So, yeah. So that's cool. But I'm gonna go through a PA program. Actually, I was gonna spend this weekend doing a bunch of research and putting some stuff together and like making notes, and I don't think that's gonna happen now because I have my wee bit surprise on Sunday. I was not expecting that to happen. And so I'm like readjusting everything I was planning on doing. Like, I was planning on doing a shit ton of work and like a bunch of reading and organizing, and it's looking like that's not going to happen. I don't regret the decision, but I do lament that I'm going to have to take longer to like do some of this stuff. Now, the other option is for me to just say fuck sleeping and just stay up late like the whole time that the little is here. Yeah. Yeah, I had an unpleasant conversation with their dad this morning about it, which was super fun. So, here we are. But I'm almost done with my shawl. I finished the cowl. I still have to do a video on it. I'm waiting on getting some stuff for the care package. I've got like a few more things that I need to get because I want to get some Soak is the brand. It's a type of wool wash, essentially. And there is a packet where you can get like a variety pack so you can get all the flavors. And I want to go ahead and do that before I send it off so that they don't have to tell me what flavor they like, having never smelled it. I'll just send them a sample of everything, and then they can use what they have and decide if they want to get more. But I have to do a video about like the story of the cow and how it came to be and the inspiration and why and all that. Which also means I need to look like a human because I'm going to be on camera. I was thinking about doing it here, but I'm probably just going to record it and do that. Just because what's going to end up happening is if it's here, people are going to pop in and like ask questions, and I want to be able to like keep the video as focused as possible, and not having to answer questions is going to help that. So I'm probably going to do one more round. I don't know if we're going to do 2. We're trying to get to that hour mark. Do one more. Because I have other things I want to do. Mostly read. Yeah, I think we're going to like cut off our like work time at this point, like after this. I've managed to do project time and streaming all week, pretty much. So we're gonna call that a fucking win. I still have other stuff to do. Shit, I forgot. Of course, I forgot. I always forget. Yeah, I think I have time for one more round, and it's gonna finish it off for tonight. Now, I think what's going to end up happening, though, is I'm not going to knit this anymore after this. I just don't think I'm going to. Where is my planner is behind me where I can't reach it. Of course it is. Why would it be somewhere convenient? So you know what though? Skipping back to our designing a Fair Isle sock, I'm gonna have to do a swatch and figure out how many stitches are going to make the sock before I can make the design, because I'm gonna want the design to work across the whole of the sock, which is going to require me to know like how many stitches across, right? So like this one, for example, is 32. So ideally, if I were to do color work with this, it would work with the fact that there were 64 total stitches, right? Otherwise it'll like throw off the thing and it'll look weird. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, which is things you didn't consider. Total excellent use of graph paper, though. I need some graph paper. So that's probably gonna happen. And easily, I'm gonna take some Fair Isle designs and like adapt them, or like parts of them, right? Like little snowflakes or little stars or whatever. I would love to do some spooky ones, like so. Do little pumpkins, do little witch hats. Let's see, spooky. Making notes. Pumpkin, witch hat, moon, stars. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, it'd be really cool if I made socks that across the whole of the sock, like so from the back side all the way around to the front, across the other foot and to the back. It just like the design wrapped all the way around there. I could totally do that. Now I want to do that. Oh my god, I've lost my fucking mind. I've lost my mind. That's probably going to be a pattern design. Now the thing with it is that chart. To get that chart and be able to size it like up and down, that's going to take some effort, having to figure out how to do that. Because what I'm really going to want to do, I don't think we're going to make it an hour. I think we're going to be really close. I think what I really want to do is make it so that you can make the socks in different weights. So like, I might just have a DK version is what I do. Like have a DK version, have a fingering version, and have a worsted version. And just alter the chart to fit those versions. And probably what I'm going to do, like I'm thinking of doing a Ouija board, like fucking facts. Because I actually have some Ouija socks that I love. They're machine knit, so they're made out of string. And like I could absolutely do, like I could use some of the sock as a template. If nothing else, I can use it as a fucking reference point. Because but that's gonna like work up significantly different in freaking bigger yarn, like bigger thread. Because I'm not knitting in thread. That shit is not gonna happen. I've considered it for like 2 seconds. I'm like, that sounds like a nightmare. I'm like, it does sound like a nightmare. You shouldn't do that. And I'm like, absolutely not. I do like my Ouija socks though. I think they're fucking hilarious. So. We're almost done. Okay, so as I'm finishing this up, if you catch this broadcast on Twitch, thank you for joining. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my random ramblings. If you're not already following me, consider following me. There you go. Just consider it for more stuff like this. If you're watching this rebroadcast on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. You can leave me a comment and this, that, and the other. And there you go. You can also check me out all over other places on the web. I think I'm gonna have to start like including a card at the end that has all my links on it, so that easy reference for people. And yeah. Anyway, so here we go. We've gotten 7 rounds in. Looks like, and we're just making it to about an hour. So sweet. 7 rounds in. That means I got 3 more. I'm not gonna probably do them tonight because I don't feel like it. Also, I'm not super sure that this is the right amount. I mean, we can count. So that I know that's 23. D. Okay. So we're at 59 and we have to get to 62. So is that 3 left? Yes, it is. Okay, good. My math is right. Hooray! My math is right. So that's it's just 3 more rounds, but like I need to go and do fuzzies, other things. So we're gonna go do that. Thank you again for joining me. You can check out the links in my profile. I've got art for sale. There's a link to my Patreon, Instagram, YouTube. There's a link to my TikTok, but I think I need to fix it. So just FYI, that one probably doesn't work. It's because I changed my screen name and did that after I made a link and just did not think about the repercussions of changing stuff. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night. And I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow. I do not know. We'll see. We're going to have to play it by ear. And y'all have a lovely evening. Toodles.